Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. What is Mojo? How do you know if you've lost it? And how do you get it back if you have lost it? In a few minutes, you'll know exactly what Mojo is and how to get it back if you lose it with my 3 handy, road-tested techniques for Mojo retrieval. So, what is Mojo? It derives from West Africa. In the early part of the 20th century, it meant voodoo, talisman, or magical power. In today's understanding, it means power or influence of any kind, personal magnetism, or self-confidence. Donald Trump, in his book, Think Like a Champion, describes it as power, force, strength, impetus, and drive. Marshall Goldsmith, in his book, Mojo, describes it as that positive spirit toward what we are doing now that starts from the inside and radiates outward. However you define Mojo, you know if you have it. You know if you're on a roll, if you're in sync, if you got juice, if you got game. Similarly, you know if you don't have it. You know if you've lost it. You're out of sync, you've lost your momentum, you're in a rut, you've lost your edge. I remember about 2 years ago, I went from loving to sing all the time to just never being in the mood to sing at all. It seemed like the less I sang, the less I wanted to, until finally I just ran out of steam and didn't want to do it anymore. I was in a rut. I lost my mojo. Now looking back, I realize it was just temporary and I always had the power to get it back. What about you? Have you ever lost your mojo in some department of your life? Probably most of us have, but if you have, or maybe just in case you do someday, I want to share with you my 3 surefire, road-tested, easy-to-remember techniques for getting back your mojo. Because it's a temporary situation, you can get it back, and it's really not very hard. I'd like to use the word mojo as an acronym. It's a little imperfect, but let's try it and see if it works. So we'll start with the letter M for mantra. Like athletes who use power phrases to get themselves over the next hill, I found it really useful to pick a power phrase, some kind of little motivator for myself to repeat silently in my mind when I'm nervous, when I'm resting, or when I just need to redirect. Like, push it, dig in, come on, top of the hill, feet don't fail me now, or even, got my mojo working. So if you'll humor me and go along with practicing something with Got My Mojo Working, a song that Muddy Waters made famous beginning in 1957, and you probably know it and don't even know you know it. So if you'll repeat after me, and then we'll try this song as a call and response. So all you have to do is, after I go, got my mojo working, you just go, got my mojo working, mojo working, got my mojo working, got my mojo working,
got my mojo working,
got my mojo working.
Got my mojo working.
Very nice. And we'll end together with, and it sure do work on you. And
it sure do work on you.
And it
sure do work on you.
Good. Okay, let's try the song. You can say it or sing it, whatever you like. Got my mojo working.
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 Got my mojo working, and it sure do work on you. Sure do work on you. That's a mantra you could use walking up to the podium. So nicely done, by the way. We'll try that again later too, just to solidify it. So that's the first technique, mantra. The next one, let's use O and J for over the jump, kind of to remind you, get out of your slump, over the hump, over the jump, out of a rut. Got to. Next step is to create some momentum to achieve escape velocity. You need to do some action that's easily repeatable that you can do right now. That's how you create some momentum. If you're a Toastmaster, you've been coming to meetings and you really haven't done anything for a while, try scheduling your next speech for 2 weeks from now with a functionary role between now and then. Something you can do right away. If you haven't been to the gym since the holidays, next week, 3 cardio workouts. Anytime, just do it. Because as our good old friend Sir Isaac Newton said, a body at rest tends to stay at rest unless you apply energy to it. And then finally, onward. What are you going to do to keep that great momentum that you just started moving onward? It's easy enough. You just plan ahead a little bit. Plan ahead to keep your momentum moving on. So if you're a toasty, you're about to finish that speech, plan another speech the week after. Or if you're getting back to the gym next week, 3 more workouts. Promise yourself, maybe throw in a weight workout just to make it interesting. So, to recap, Mojo, mantra, over the jump, onward. And let's just finish it off with a mantra, shall we? Got my mojo working.
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 Got my mojo working. And it sure do work on you. Nicely done.